Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the 2023 GMC Acadia all-wheel drive Denali. This is finished off in Summit White. MSRP is just over $56,000. Huge shout out to Randy Marion GMC for providing this SUV for me today. Definitely take a look at their website. That link is down in the description. So powering the Acadia is the 3.6 liter V6 that's paired to the 9-speed automatic transmission. This pumps out 310 horsepower, 271 pound-feet of torque. This model is all-wheel drive. It'll do 0 to 60 in just under 7 seconds, weighs in right around 4,500 pounds. Top speed is 131 miles an hour, and it also has a fuel capacity of 21.7 gallons. You'll expect to see around 19 miles per gallon in the city, 26 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 112.5 inches. Its overall length is 193.4. It has a width of 75.4, a height of 66.7, and its ground clearance measures in at 7.2 inches. As we move on to the exterior styling now for this Denali, you'll notice right off the bat the amount of chrome that is on this exterior. So we'll start off with the chrome grille, and it goes from the top all the way to the lower surround, going from side to side, and then all of the trim accents are chrome too. Massive GMC badge, forward-facing camera, plenty of cutouts to provide a lot of cooling, and the chrome also works its way to the lower section of the inlet down below, where that entire area is finished off in gloss black. Now this also has LED headlights, DRLs, and turn signals, and even LED fog lights that are tucked up in the gloss black trim. There's forward-facing sensors as well, and then some very nice lines that come down the hood. You will notice that they run from the A-pillar all the way to the top of the chrome trim accent that runs right across the front. So it gives it a very stylish design. And as we work our way to the side, the Denali also provides us with the 20-inch wheels. They have a very nice multi-spoke design to them. There's more chrome trim in the lower section of the door with Denali stamped in it. This has body-colored side mirrors with the turn signal as well as the integrated camera. And then there's actually 2 sunroofs up top. We'll get another look from the interior. Roof racks are on this model, more chrome surrounding the window trim just to add to the rest of the chrome. And then very nice fender arches, both front and rear, and a large window for that rear cargo space. Now as we finish up in the rear, this has a body-colored spoiler, integrated third brake light, wiper blade in the lower section. This does have LED taillights, backup camera right in the middle with more chrome in the middle of that power liftgate, along with GMC. There's all the parking sensors, another Denali badge with the dual exhaust down below, and this can even tow right around 4,000 pounds, which is pretty adequate. Currently that cover is on the bumper right now. So if you're not towing, you can have that installed and then you can remove that when it's time to tow. Now this Acadia also has remote start. So if I lock the vehicle and then hold on this button on the lower left, it will fire right up. You can use that to shut it off as needed. And then you can either use the button on the key fob or the one on the lower section to open up the power liftgate. Now the Acadia is also a 3-row SUV. So currently I have the passenger side reclined all of the way with the driver's side all the way upright. So it's nice that you do have that adjustability, and for the space that you get in the back, it's a little bit tight. This isn't what I would consider a full-size 3-row SUV, but you still get a little bit of space for any items that you'd like to place in here. And you can even lift up the back floor if you want a little bit more hidden storage space. Now what I love about the third row, it is manual to fold. So simply just pull on that and you can quickly put that down. You can do that on both sides, of course. And then you can manually fold down the second row, giving you a lot more interior storage. Now from here, I'll just pull on that and I can lock that back into place and flip up the headrest. So it's very versatile, very big for the interior for its size for any extra items. Now up top, there's only one button. So there's no button to lock the vehicle. You can just use that one to close it. Now what's also convenient is you can lock and unlock all 4 doors from each individual door handle. So that's a very nice feature to have. Now for this interior, we have the white leather. There's also wood trim, a little bit of storage in the lower section as well as right in the middle, and a nice 2-tone design for that door panel itself. Now for the middle row, we have 3 seats, so we have that bench style seating. And in order to gain access to that third row, I'm just gonna pull on this handle and I can actually push this seat all the way forwards. You need a little bit of oomph to do that. But with that seat forwards, there's 2 seats in the back. And at 5'10", I do have plenty of room, even with this seat where it is. You can move those forwards if you need to, but I have plenty of space. We have an armrest, spot for a drink if you need it, even a USB-C, and I have around a ½ inch or so above my head. So honestly, I could ride around town. You could have 2 people back here if you need that extra space, which is very nice to see. And the fact that they recline just makes you a little bit more comfortable. We have large windows on both sides, so you really don't have any blind spots back here. There's dome lights, even some climate adjustments. So that way you can get some airflow into the back and be just as comfortable. Now, if I push this seat all the way back, we can lock it into place and hop in. Now, like I said, you can actually use that bar to slide this forwards and backwards as needed. And for the second row, I have plenty of space. There's storage pockets. We have heated seats too. There's the fan speed, temperature, auxiliaries. If you slide this out, you get even more storage and 2 cup holders, which is nice to have. And right in the middle, we have the armrest with 2 cup holders if you need to utilize that. And as far as headroom goes for the second row seating, I don't have any complaints. About 1 inch, maybe 1.5 inches or so. And then of course you can recline these back and be just as comfortable. We have that sunshade too, which is currently open, and then the dome lights and some air vents too for your second row. This is manual adjusting, so you can easily do that as needed. Very open feeling for the size of this. And then for the driver door panel, very similar to the rear. However, there's all of the window adjustments, side mirror adjustments, even memory seating controls. You can also adjust the rear liftgate. If you want to have that off to do it manually, you want it 3/4 of the way, or max to open up all of the way. And we have the very nice front seats with the Denali embroidered in that headrest. They are automatic seats, so all those adjustments are down on the side. And once we hop in, we have the solid black leather steering wheel. Left side is all the cruise and distance pacing adjustments, along with the heated steering wheel. Right side, there's voice commands and Bluetooth controls, and then all those are for the gauge cluster. So let's fire this back up. With my foot on the brake, we can bring this to life. And now we can move on to the gauge cluster. So far left side, there's the tach. Right side is the engine temperature and the fuel level. And currently there's the miles per hour right in the middle. And if I use these buttons, now we can scroll through some more information. So there's trip information. You can look at your fuel range, even some other vitals to monitor TPMS. And you have a few others here that you can go through, even a timer and a pitch and roll and degrees of your steering wheel, which is nice to see. If you want to take this off the pavement with that all-wheel drive system, you can monitor that as needed. So that's nice to at least be able to go through all of those. Now on the back side of the steering wheel, there's the volume and tuning adjustments. So those are on both sides. And then to the left, there's the e-brake, dimmer switches, even the head-up display controls. So currently it's showing miles per hour right now. I can adjust the height of it, which is nice, and then go through the tach. You can go to a blank screen. We have the demo mode currently right there. And then you also have the brightness that you can control. And then right in the middle, we have the touchscreen system, very similar to even a lot of Chevy models, where we have all these icons that you can go through from your navigation, your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You can go into your climates, even adjust your rear climates. There's a shortcut to the camera, so we can pull that up. Let's go ahead and talk about that. Since we have the 360 view, you can tap on all of these to give yourself a lot more visibility. So it's very nice to see that. And just by playing around with all of these, you can have that split screen or no split screen. So it gives you a lot of visibility. Now if I push on the physical home button, now we're back to all of these apps. We have the split style too for your music, phone, and navigation. And then there's also shortcuts down below where you can get into all this information. So it makes it very helpful to quickly get into all of that. And you can also use the dial down below. If you don't want to use it as a touchscreen system, you can scroll through all of that. You have home, back, and then tuning, power, and volume for the radio. Now underneath that, this does have dual zone. Fan speed is right in the middle. Temperature dials, where you like the air to go, is laid out incredibly well. You have AC and some recirc adjustments. And then this is interesting to see. This is the gear shift pattern for this vehicle. So with my foot on the brake, I'll just pull up for reverse, where we have that backup camera. Neutral is just by pushing on N. Drive is just like reverse. We have park on that left side. there's even a low range gear too. So if you're towing or taking this off-road, you can hold a gear, which is nice to see. So that's a pretty interesting design. It's actually out of the way very nicely, so that frees up your space down below. This also has a wireless charging pad with some auxiliaries in the back, 2 cup holders right in the middle with your engine start stop, traction control, your parking sensors, and hazards that you can adjust. And then right in the middle, we have heated and ventilated seats. So you have 3 different settings for both of those. Right in the middle is the lane keeping assist, and then we have a knob here where you can go through different driving modes. So when I turn on that dial in the gauge cluster, there's off-road mode. We can go to tow and haul mode, 2-wheel drive mode if you'd like to use that, all-wheel drive mode, and then we're back to sport mode. So pretty cool. If you don't want to use the all-wheel drive system, maybe you're out on the highway, you want to save some fuel, just put it in 2-wheel drive. And then looking at the armrest, when I open this up, plenty of space for any items that you'd like to place there. A little bit of storage just in front of that. And then the glove box also has a great amount of space. Now up top, we do have that digital camera in the rear view mirror. So if you need some more visibility, just flip that up. We have OnStar controls, even some dome lights, garage door buttons. There is a sunglass holder. And then we also have the sunroof adjustments for the one up front. So this sunshade is manual, just like in the rear. And then you have the controls for that. Take a look at the amount of visibility this has. It is very open feeling, which is of course great to see. Let's go ahead though and get this out on the road. As we set off now behind the wheel for the GMC Acadia, it's been quite some time since I've been behind the wheel. I can remember having one of these as a rental car years ago, and how far they have come since then. It's been at least 10 years since I've been around one, and this is a really nice vehicle so far. It's right around the mid $55,000 range for this Denali trim level. You can go all the way down to the XTX. There's also a few other options, just depending on your budget, what you're looking to get from your Acadia. Now this is also a 3-row SUV, as you've already seen. We only have 2 seats in that 3rd row though, so it's not really a full-size 3-row, but you do have the additional 2 seats if you need to use those. They don't really look like they're an afterthought. It was meant to have the 2 seats without going to that next size up. If you want to do that, you can get some larger SUVs from GMC. So on this, it still has a small footprint, but it gives you that extra seating if you need it. And with that V6 engine, we have a pretty good, healthy get up and go. Now, that was just in the all-wheel drive setting. We can put it into sport mode now and give it a little bit of juice. We have a lot more throttle response right there. So it's really cool, just depending on what you want to do, even being able to shut off basically the back wheels and just have this in front wheel drive mode is very cool technology to see. So for 55 grand or so, I think it's a really good option. Everything is very easy to use too, as you've already seen. Not a whole lot of controls, which makes it that much more user friendly. And as far as driving it, it's super comfortable and quiet. I really like these seats. They are definitely hugging me well. We sit kind of low in this, even with the seat almost all the way up here. You sit low. It's more like you're sitting in a car rather than in an SUV. The hood seems to be a little bit higher, like that feeling. Not to say that's good or bad, just something that I notice after driving a lot of vehicles. It's still an SUV. It's very capable, can tow, things like that, but it definitely sits very low. And with it in sport mode, here we go. Just like that, we're up to speed. Very, very healthy. It's not underpowered by any means. I know a lot of people do like the NA engine. So we have that naturally aspirated 3.6 liter V6, something that is going to be very healthy and last you a good time. There's the debate between that and all of the vehicles that are going with the turbocharged engines. So in this Acadia, that is one of the engine choices that you can get, having the V6. And I think it's very healthy for this. So now that we're behind the wheel for this mid $50,000 GMC, I think it's a really good option to go with. As far as some of the other competitors for this price range, I will have a video coming comparing this to the all-new Mazda CX-90. So if you want to check out that video, be sure to head over to our channel to view that. But this is a really good option to go with. If you're not looking for a ton of technology, we seem to have quite a few SUVs that have a good layout. It's nothing too confusing, but it gives you everything that you need to drive this every day, especially with amenities like the heated and ventilated seats. It's a good option to go with. Very roomy for its sizing too, and very quiet as well. Definitely would make for a great daily driver. And with one last get up and go here, just a mild acceleration, that is going to wrap it up for this 2023 GMC Acadia all-wheel drive Denali. Once again, huge shout out to Randy Marion GMC for providing this for me today. Check out their website, that link is down below. Give the video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.